The diner buzzed with morning chatter, the smell of fresh coffee filling the air. Among the clinking cups and sizzling bacon stood Lila, a shy waitress with tired eyes and a gentle smile. She'd been working double shifts for weeks, saving every penny to pay for her brother's therapy. Lila never drew attention to herself. She was polite, quiet, and always ready to help. Most customers barely remembered her face, until that morning. The door chimed, and in walked Ethan Cole, the young billionaire everyone recognized from the news. Sleek suit, sharp jawline, and an aura that made the entire diner fall silent. But today, he wasn't alone. Beside him walked an elegant older woman, his mother, Mrs. Cole, her movements graceful, her smile warm. And yet, there was something different about her. When the hostess greeted them, Mrs. Cole didn't respond. Ethan leaned closer and signed a few words with his hands. That's when everyone realized, she was deaf. They sat by the window. Ethan pulled out his phone, ready to type their order for his mother, but before he could, Lila approached, nervously clutching her notepad. "Good morning," she said softly, then paused, and slowly began to sign. "What would you like to eat today?" Ethan froze. His mother's eyes widened in disbelief. For the first time in the diner, Mrs. Cole's face lit up with joy. You know sign language?" Ethan asked, stunned. Lila smiled shyly. "My little brother was born deaf. I learned so he wouldn't feel alone." The entire diner had gone quiet. Mrs. Cole signed something quickly, her hands trembling slightly. Lila nodded, smiling wider. "Yes," she said aloud, interpreting, "she says thank you, no one ever tries to talk to her directly." Ethan's expression softened, his usual confidence melting away. He watched as his mother and Lila began to chat in sign, laughing and connecting like old friends. For once, Mrs. Cole wasn't isolated by silence, she was understood. As Lila served their food, Ethan couldn't take his eyes off her. She wasn't just kind, she had done something that money couldn't buy. When it came time to pay, Ethan stood up. "Lila," he said quietly, "could I ask something personal?" She blinked nervously. "Sure. Do you still work both shifts? The morning and night ones?" She nodded. "Trying to cover my brother's therapy bills. Insurance only goes so far." Ethan looked down for a moment, then smiled gently. "You won't have to do that anymore." She frowned. "I don't understand." "My company funds community initiatives," he explained. "We just found a new director for our inclusive communication program, someone who truly understands what empathy looks like." Lila's eyes widened. "You mean?" "Yes," he said simply. "I want to offer you the position. Full benefits. You'll be teaching sign language to our staff, starting next week." Lila was speechless. The diner went utterly silent again. Then, Mrs. Cole stood up, walked over, and wrapped Lila in a hug. Tears rolled. The next few days felt like a dream for Lila. The diner regulars smiled wider when they saw her, whispering about the waitress who made a billionaire cry. But for her, it wasn't about fame, it was about that moment when Mrs. Cole smiled like she'd been seen for the first time in years. Still, she couldn't help but wonder. Would he really remember me? Then, 3 days later, the bell above the diner door chimed again. Lila turned, and froze. Ethan and Mrs. Cole were standing there once more, holding a bouquet of white lilies. Mrs. Cole stepped forward first, signing with gentle hands, "You changed my life, Lila." Lila's eyes glistened as she signed back, "You changed mine." Ethan smiled. "I wasn't kidding about the job," he said. "In fact, we've already set up the program, and we named it after my mother. The Grace Communication Initiative." He handed her a simple white envelope. Inside was a formal letter, complete with the company seal, and a small card that said, Welcome to Cole Industries, Director of Inclusive Communication. Lila covered her mouth in shock. I don't even know what to say, she whispered. Then don't, Ethan said softly. You've already said enough, through kindness. Weeks passed. Lila stepped into the gleaming glass building of Cole Industries for her first day. Nervous but determined, she wore her best thrifted blouse and carried a folder full of notes. As she entered the conference room, she saw employees gathered, some curious, others skeptical. Billionaire companies didn't usually make time for empathy training. But then she noticed Mrs. Cole, sitting in the front row, beaming proudly. Lila took a deep breath, raised her hands, and began to sign. Good morning. My name is Lila. Today, I won't just teach you a language, I'll teach you how to listen with your hearts. Ethan watched from the back, quietly. His employees slowly began to sign back, awkward at first, then with growing confidence. Laughter filled the room as walls broke down, replaced by something rare in a corporate world, connection. After the class, Mrs. Cole touched Ethan's hand and signed something emotional. He nodded, tears in his eyes. She said you were right, he told Lila. Kindness doesn't need a title, but it deserves a chance to lead. He paused for a moment, looking thoughtful. You know, when my father died, my mother stopped smiling. She felt trapped in silence. Today was the first time I saw her laugh again. Lila smiled softly. Sometimes, the world just needs someone to hold the door open for a little bit of light. Ethan looked at her then, not as a billionaire, not as a boss, but as a man seeing a rare kind of beauty in someone's soul. Months passed, and Lila's program spread across the company's branches. Thousands of employees began learning sign language, fostering inclusion for deaf clients and workers. One day, Ethan stood on a stage at a global conference, introducing her. Cameras flashed, app loud.